Hi, I'm Molly Qerim Rose, and just like so many of you, this pandemic has forced me to slow down. And I have seen tragedy after tragedy unfold on the news. And I felt like at this point, silence is betrayal. So I kept thinking, what more can I do? And that's why I'm here today with Innocence Project. Joining me now is a man I deeply admire, Huwe Burton. I marvel, Hugh, at your resiliency, and it's really an honor to be here with you. And I'm really looking forward to having this conversation. Huwe Burton spent 19 years in prison for a crime he did not commit. It was a coerced confession by the police for the most heinous and unimaginable crimes, the murder of his mother. He was just 16 years old, went to school, he came home, found his mother had been stabbed in the neck twice and undressed from the waist down. He was brought in by police at about 5 p.m. and then by 3 a.m. the cameras were turned on. Huwe, talk to me about how you got to the point that you gave the police the confession that they forced you to use and that they fabricated and created.
When they came to my godmother's house, they told her they wanted to bring me down for a polygraph test and that I would be right back. Reluctantly, I went, just wanting to find out what happened to my mom. Maybe about an hour and a half, 2 hours into this interview, it turned accusatory, and they said they knew it was me who committed this crime and I needed to tell them. Immediately, I'm crying, I'm asking for my father. They're telling me I would see my father after I told them what they needed to hear. They knew that prior to this, I had no involvement with law enforcement. All of this was brand new to me, coupled with the fact that I had just walked and found my mom. I just left for school and left her sitting on the couch. Now I come back and find her in this condition. Finally, by 10 after 3, the cameras started rolling. They had actually broke down any kind of defense that I had for myself, and I gave them what they wanted because they made me feel as if this was the only thing that was going to help me and assist me in this situation.
It's unfathomable to me that you didn't harden your heart and just throw in the towel and just give up the fight. How did you keep hope alive and continue to fight for your innocence?
My father. I've never seen the strength of a person, of a human being as strong as my dad. Here is a man that had to deal with my defense, but at the same time had to process and deal with everything, all of his wife's affairs. And still, he came to every courtroom I was in, every visit room that I was in, however far upstate I was. And he fought to his last day. He lost his life savings fighting this case. It's like, if he can do it, if he can get through that, I'm going through rough things, but the things he was going through, my problems paled in comparison to what he was going through, and still he handled it in such a dignified manner. And that's what helped me really keep hope alive.
We share a common passion, and that is sports. Talk to us about the impact running had on your life.
When I first started getting into running, it was as a result of watching older prisoners run. Seeing them run, they seemed to be at peace when they ran. Whatever problems they had, it just seemed to be gone in the times that they were running. And I wanted that. I needed it, so I tried my hand at running. And as I got better, I found that running became somewhat of a release. Things that you may have on your mind, frustrations or whatever, I was able to run and let go of all of it. I would always say to myself that if I got out of here, I'm going to run a marathon. And finally, I got the opportunity. I ran the first one in 2016. By the time I got to about 18th mile, I was cramping severely. And I was like, okay, I think I may have bitten off a little bit more than I could chew, and I wanted to stop. I looked a few feet in front of me, and it was my attorney. And she's waving to me to just, come, I got you. And what was so interesting about that, when we met, I was in my 18th year of incarceration. So to see she's kind of pulling me along at the 18th mile, just like she was pulling me along during my 18th year, that kind of gave me the strength that I needed to finish the last few miles. That was great.
Huwe, obviously you had your father's strength at the forefront, but what did it also mean when you had the support of the Innocence Project?
What that did for me, that really restored my hope in justice. Sometimes you're like, I'm going to keep fighting because it's what I have to do. But you're seeing so many people around you not getting it, and you keep fighting. And to watch what the IP did with my case and with so many other cases. It really reinforced my idea that good can be done and justice is going to be restored.
Huwe, to see that you have hope gives myself hope, and I'm sure so many at home. And that's why I want to say thank you to everyone who was a part of this night, because many of them, like myself, were seeing the murders of George Floyd and Breonna Taylor and no justice being served and feeling so defeated and so angry. And organizations like the Innocence Project give you hope, give us hope that someday justice can be served and there is something that we can do, and we aren't sitting idly by. Huwe, thank you so much for telling your story, and I know it's painful and it's hard to relive. We're all standing here with you.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I really appreciate that. Thank you.